2024 wasn't just a year, it was a journey. One that challenged us, pushed us to our limits, but also taught us more than we could ever have imagined. Every day was a new page in the story of who we are becoming. And while we didn't have all the answers, we learned to embrace the unknown, trust the process, and keep moving forward. We began the year in a place so familiar yet so new, Romania. For 2 weeks, we rediscovered its beauty and authenticity. As we explored Brașov, Sibiu, and Sighișoara, something clicked. The cities, the mountains, the way the fog rolls in over the hills. It felt like we were seeing Romania for the first time. You know, we used to focus on Romania's downsides, its struggles, its limitations. But this trip, it truly opened our eyes to all the good things we had overlooked. The warmth of the people, the richness of our culture. It felt like reconnecting with a part of ourselves that we didn't know we lost. But when we came back, reality hit hard. We were still in the UK, living in a shared house to save money for our dream of living. Sharing a home with our best friends made it bearable, but deep down, we knew this was only temporary. February was complicated. We tried building better habits, focusing on our goals, but the weight of uncertainty loomed over us. I applied for countless remote jobs, and no luck. Every rejection felt like another punch to the gut. And the worst part, I started to doubt myself. Maybe the dream of working remotely, traveling, maybe it was all just that, a dream. But then there was Vlad. He never lost faith. He was my constant reminder that we weren't just chasing a dream, we were building a future. And even when I didn't believe in myself, he believed in us. Then came March and we did our birthdays. Vlad took me to Morocco and it was nothing short of magical.
Hello, welcome at our desert camp. You are welcome, Christina and Vlad.
We spent my birthday in the Sahara, sitting by the fire as the stars danced above us. Sure, it wasn't perfect.
I think we changed the plan because Christina is not feeling well.
I was sick on my birthday, long hours in the bus, but that's life, right? Messy and beautiful. Morocco reminded us that the best moments come when we stop planning every detail and just embrace what comes. And contrary to what many travelers believe, Marrakesh isn't just a city of bustling souks and crowded streets. Yes, it's chaotic, but it's also deeply welcoming. Beneath the surface, there's a kindness that's hard to put into words. Yes, Marrakesh challenges you, but in return, it rewards you with real human connections. But March wasn't just about celebrating. It was also about loss. My best friend and I, we didn't make it. Our friendship came to an end and it hit me hard. I tried to ignore the pain, pretended like it didn't matter, but feelings don't just disappear. They come back, louder than ever. Friendship I thought will last forever ended. I guess loss has a way of forcing you to feel, even when you'd rather not. By April, we were starting over again. April was all about moving. A new house, the same goals. I kept wondering if we were making the right decision. Was this really going to work? But something shifted in May. I found a remote job. It wasn't much, no steady income, no guarantees, but it was enough to keep going. And something else truly exciting happened. We stumbled upon the Kiwi.com Travel Challenge, a contest where you could get paid to travel the world for a month. The idea of it was a dream come true. We thought, what if this was our shot? We applied with so much hope. It felt like the universe was finally listening. Hi, we are Christina and Vlad.
As we are getting ready to become Kiwi.com world travel hackers, today we are gonna share our top saving money tips.
Like using Kiwi's cheapest flight feature to find the most insane deals.
But always do your research. Sometimes sacrificing a bit on the flight costs you more with accommodation and food.
Tip number 2 is to not always pick central accommodations. Choose options further away from noise sources like we did. This incredible Airbnb was only $20 a night by staying with locals.
Tip number 3. Eat where the locals eat. We've discovered the most amazing, cheap, hole-in-the-wall spots this way.
And tip number 4. Don't just hit the overpriced, crowded tourist attractions. Sometimes, trying to find a local place that might be unpopular might lead you to a different experience.
And those are our top money-saving tips.
So Kiwi.com, give us that budget.
And we will show you how to save.
But that didn't quite happen. Then, in June, Vlad did something bold. He bought us one-way tickets to Sicily. For him, it was freedom. But for me, fear. But sometimes, you have to take that leap. Even when you're scared, especially when you're scared. The only way forward is through the fear. I had to let go of my need for control, and slowly I began to trust the process, even when it didn't make any sense. June marked the beginning of the end in the UK. We handed in our notices, packed our bags, and in August landed in Sicily full of hope. But let me tell you, reality hit hard. Broken luggage, unexpected expenses, and our savings quickly slipping away. At one point, we thought we'd have to go home. It felt like the universe was testing us. But then there were those moments, watching the sunset with family, sleeping under the stars on Ferragosto, wandering through tiny villages and losing track of time. We began to understand that no matter how many setbacks we face, joy still exists in the smallest moments. Then September hit hard. After our laptop broke, we had no choice but to use our savings for a new one. Another unexpected expense. On the bright side, my mom visited and we spent time together in Palermo, giving me a sense of calm I really needed. For our anniversary, we visited San Vito La Capo, Trapani, and Erice. The beauty of those places reminded us why we were on this journey in the first place. And sometimes, it's the simple moments that ground us, like helping my brother in the garden. Life doesn't always need to be big. It's in the little things that we find joy. In October, we were supposed to go to Tunisia or the Dolomites. The requirements for Tunisia were more than we expected, and the Dolomites were a bit out of our budget. So we ended up in Albania instead. It wasn't part of the plan, but it was exactly what we needed. Albania felt like a place untouched by time, peaceful and raw in a way we had never experienced. But what really stood out in those moments wasn't just the beauty, it was the lessons we learned on those hikes. Every step was a battle against our own doubts. The trails were steep. The exhaustion almost made us want to turn back. But each time our minds screamed stop, our bodies proved we could push further. We learned something big on those hikes. When the mind says stop, the body is often capable of much more. November was a pretty chill month. We spent a lot of time on hobbies, trying new things, and just taking a step back from the hustle. But even in those quiet moments, the weight of the year started to settle in. For me, it wasn't just physical. It was a reflection of something deeper. Unprocessed emotions, feelings I avoided for so long, were starting to manifest in ways I couldn't ignore. I've always been the kind of person who tries to numb my feelings, to push them away. But this year showed me that when you do that, they just keep coming back. Vlad too realized that our dreams were evolving. We couldn't travel as much as we thought we would, and that wasn't easy to accept. It wasn't the freedom we envisioned when we left the UK, but that didn't mean we failed. Funny thing is, We even missed the UK at times, a place we once thought was suffocating. But maybe that's the lesson, that even in the places we thought we'd never return to, there's something worth appreciating. December, a month filled with festive moments like decorating the Christmas tree, ice skating, spending time with family. We spent Christmas in Palermo, did some shopping, and took in the holiday spirit. But honestly, we were still conflicted. We hadn't posted as many videos as we wanted, still feeling unsure of what we truly wanted. We thought we'd have it all figured out by now. We realized that while we love traveling, there's also a part of us that needs stability, a routine, and time to process everything we experienced. So we started thinking about 2025, about the next chapter. And though we had moments of doubt, confusion, and struggle, we realized something important. This year, we'd grown. And maybe we hadn't crossed every milestone we planned, but we had learned a lot along the way. We realized we don't have to have everything figured out. The pressure we put on ourselves, thinking we should be doing more, achieving more, only held us back. When we stopped and truly reflected, we saw just how much we'd already accomplished. We left the UK, we traveled, we found new paths, and most importantly, we grew stronger together. 2024 taught us to embrace the unknown, to face our emotions, and to trust in our ability to adapt. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. And as we step into 2025, we don't have all the answers, but we've come this far, and that's enough. We're not done yet, our journey continues, and we're so glad you're here with us.